Greetings and welcome to another Lessons with Odin. On this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make these lovely little lamppost earrings. These were done using the beads I got from Scara Beads. I did a recent unboxing of the beads they sent me, and this is one of the projects that I had come up with. I don't know, I wanted to make a bead cap for wrapping around those pearls, as well as trying out making a fringe drop out of spiral rope. And this is what I came up with. Check out Scara Beads if you want to see all of the stuff that I have got, and there is even a coupon code in the description down below. That'll save yourself about 10% or something along those lines, but it's in the description box below if you want to save some cash. So for this project, you will need 20 4mm fire polish beads. You can probably use 3mm or even bicones or even rounds or pearls. I just had 4mm, so that's what I used. If you do use smaller, you may just have to adjust some things, but it's not a big deal. You're going to need 2 dagger beads, 2 10mm rounds. I am using these spiffy little cotton pearls, and I feel that they're hollow and I have this impulse to squeeze them, but I'm trying not to do that. You will also need 4 4mm bicones or 4mm shapes that you choose to add as accent beads. You'll need whatever earring findings or pendant findings that you're going to use for them. You will need 2 colors of size 15 seed beads. Although, while you don't have to use 2 colors, I highly recommend it so you can pay attention to what you need to thread, because we're going to do a bit of writing a weave, but adjusted for different sizes. You will also need size 11 seed beads. And of course, your needle and thread. I'm using 1G and a size 13 needle because my 12s have disappeared. Feel free to use 12s and have fun with that. And with all that being said, let us get started. Thank you, kid. Alright, so we're going to start off by threading on 2 color A size 15s, a fire polish bead, 1 color A, and 4 color Bs. Gonna pass that down, leaving a small tail because we're not really going to use it. Pass back through each and every one of those beads to form a loop. Tie an overhand knot with your tail and your working thread. And this is 1 unit of our right angle weave. So the fire polish and the 4 seed beads are going to be the sides of our right angle weave unit. The single size 15 and the double on the bottom are the tops and bottoms of the right angle weave unit. Just keep that in mind. You always want to make plus signs when it comes to the right angle weave. We're doing plus signs, it's awkward and weird shaped. The size difference here is going to be because we want to make a cone shaped. That's why we're having the bottom as 2 and the top as 1. To make our next stitch, we're going to pass through the 2 size 15s on the bottom. Try not to pull too tight and don't let the knot go inside of the size 15s because it's going to give you hell later. Pass back up through the fire polish bead. Then we are ready for our next stitch. And that is going to be 1 color A, 4 color Bs, 2 color As. We're wrapping around, pass through the fire polish again, so that we've got our second unit of writing a weave. A plus sign made of a fire polish, our 4 size 15s, we got our tops and bottoms. Always make sure that the singles stay on one side, the doubles on the other side. Now we're going to switch over to our next unit, passing through the size 15 at the top, then pick up your 4 size 15s. We are starting from the bottom, so I'm picking up 2 color A's, a fire polish, and a color B, pass back around through the 4 color B's to form our next loop. Pass through the 2 color A's, go up the fire polish, and you're ready for your next stitch, which we are starting from the top, so I add 1 color A, 4 color Bs, 2 color As, pass up through the fire polish, set up for the next stitch by going through the single color A, and go down the 4 color Bs. You're going to repeat that until you have 5 patterns of stitches. You're going to use 5 fire polish beads, and you want to end on the stitch with the fire polish bead, because in the very beginning we have our 4 size 15s, and we want to join the ring together. So once you have your strip of the right angle weave, we're going to join the ends together. End up coming out of your fire polish bead. We're going to fold the ends together. Just to make it easier on ourselves, I'm going to add 1 size 15 color A, pass through the 4 color B, add on 2 color A's, pass back up through the fire polish. That completes the join. Then you're going to want to reinforce once in order to secure the join. Alright, and you'll now see what our bead cap shape is kind of looking like. Now from the fire polish bead, we're just going to go up through the single color A beads. We're only going to be working with the singles, and we're going to go to the top of the bead cap. We're going to leave the bottom 2 pairs alone for now. But all we're going to do is cinch these together so that the ring tightens up. So just pass through each and every one of these single size 15s. And you'll end up with that snuggling together. So coming out of 1 pair of size 15s, you're going to add 1 color B and pass through 2 more color A's. Add a B, pass through 2 color A's, and repeat that all the way around. Then we're going to step up by going up through the color B that we first added when we started this row. Going to add on a color B, pass through to the next color B's, and repeat that all the way around, adding another color B in between the gaps there. So you've got 2 rows of peyote going on. You're going to want to reinforce those color B's so that they cinch tighter. Next, you'll want to end up coming out of a bead from the second row of your peyote. If you need help figuring that out, it is the row that is on top of the fire polish bead. The first row started at the 4 size 15 beads. You're going to add a size 15, a size 11, and a size 15. Pass back around that same bead that you're coming around to form a picot above that. You're going to move through to the next top second row of your peyote and repeat that all the way around so you have 5 points. Once you finish those 5 points, you're going to travel down and come out through the pair of size 15s on the bottom of the cap. This is basically finishing the top. We're going to work on the bottom now. Alright, so once you are coming out of those 2 size 15s, you're going to add a size 11. Jump over to the next set of size 15s and repeat that all the way around. End up coming out of one of the size 11s. Add on 3 size 15s color B. Pass through to the next size 11 and repeat that all the way around. Once you have filled that out, we're going to pop some points. So I'm starting out coming out of the size 11. I'm going to go and pass through the first color B, skip over the center, pass through the third color B and through the next size 11. Pull it tight so that the centerpiece pops up. Once more, skip through the first one, skip over number 2, pass through number 3, and through the size 11. And do that all the way around. And that will be your finished cap. These little pointy bits on the top, these little pointy bits on the bottom. Now, you'll want to make a second one, and then for one of them, you'll want to start off with the connection points. Do this only on one of the caps. So I'm coming out of the center of one of the points on the bottom I'm going to add one color B and do a ladder stitch. I'm going to pass back through that center bead that I started from. I'm going to reinforce this once or twice to make it nice and taut. Come back up through the top bead, add on one more, do another ladder stitch, reinforce it. Then we're going to travel back down through the base ring. We are going to skip over the next adjacent set of 3. I have picked up number 1 and number 3, and then also the next size 11 to skip over. You don't have to do it this way. You can go through all 3. You can even jump down on the bottom, skip over that way. All you want to do is skip over the next pointed parts. Go through to the point on the next over. Then you will add your ladder stitch. Skip 1, ladder stitch, skip 1, ladder stitch, all the way around until you have 5 points. Once again, do this only on one of the caps. For this version, I used size 11 demi rounds, which, is okay. I was aiming for a lower profile, but it ended up a little longer than I wanted, so the wavies aren't standing up as straight. But if you compare it to the other one, this is nice and straight, so it's all up to you. I just wanted to try something out, but do with it as you want. Alright, so now I got both of my caps, and to make it easier for myself, I took the one without the tendrils and left my ending thread there. Now we're going to cinch everything together and make it complete. Gonna start off with the bail area. I've got 1 size 11 and 7 size 15s, color B. Pass back around each and every one of those beads, tie an overhand knot. And your loop right there, we're going to pass through the size 11 and the next size 15 over. Gonna pop some points, skipping over the next size 15, passing through number 3. Turn the thread around so number 2 sticks out. Skip over number 4, go through number 5, flip the thread over so that number 4 sticks out. Skip over number 6, pass through number 7 to pop that point. End up coming out of the size 11, and I'm going to clip that tail because it's going to annoy me. And from that point in the bail, I'm going to add a 4mm bicone, one of the caps, the pearl, one of the caps, a 4mm, and a size 11. I'm going to then skip over the size 11 and pass back through everything, through the bicone, the cap, the pearl, the cap, the bicone at the opposite end, and finally through the opposite side of the size 11 that we started from. If you want to make it extra tight, you can reinforce here, but it gets kind of difficult, especially if you use these cotton pearls, because their holes don't tend to be straight through. The cotton kind of fluffs around inside the hole, so you're ending up stabbing it real hard. But anyway, regardless of what you do, you're going to travel all the way down to the size 11 here. Then I'm going to unthread my working thread and go back to the thread coming out of the bead cap above. So I'm going to line up my points. I'm coming out of a center point on one of the outside frills. I'm going to then, my thread is coming out of the right side. I'm going to pass through the right side of the tendril right above it. Pass back through the left side of the bead that I started from. Pull that tight, then reinforce the joint. Then I'm going to travel to the next tendril by skipping over one point, going to the next point, reinforcing all the way around. Now this by itself is a pretty cute earring on its own, so you can even stop here and make those as a pair of earrings, maybe even throw a little dagger on top or something, I don't know. But I called this a lamppost earring, so I'm going to turn it into a lamppost. So to start our post from the size 11 that we started from over on the end of our lantern, you're going to add an indeterminate number of size 11 seed beads. This all depends on how long you want your tendrils. You want them really long to dance on your shoulders, or you want it not so long. But anyway, you'll add your size 11s, then 3 color B size 15s, a dagger, 3 color B size 15s. You are going to skip over the 15s, dagger 15s, go all the way up the size 11 tendril, all the way through the lantern once more, through the size 11 at the bail, all the way back through the lantern. Then you are going to pick up 3 size 11 seed beads from the fringe tendril. You are going to add 2 color Bs, 1 color A, 2 color Bs. Go back over and around through 4 size 11 seed beads. And from here, we are going to begin our spiral stitch. 2 Bs, 1 A, 2 Bs. I'm going to count down from where my thread started from, 3 size 11s, and then pick up 1 more, making a total of 4 beads. 2 Bs, 1 A, 2 Bs. From where my thread is coming out of, 1, 2, 3. Pick up those 3s and 1 additional above the thread that is coming out of that bead. If you're familiar with the spiral stitch, this is going to look pretty easy to you. So, from there, that's how you repeat that all the way down until you reach the dagger set. You can then end your thread by knotting all the way around there and clipping it short. Attach your earring finding at your bail, and then you will have your finished earrings. Well, 1 finished earring. You're going to have to do it again. So, this is what I came up with when it comes to the beads that I got from Scara Beads. Feel free to check them down below. I have a coupon code for you. I believe it's 10% off, so check in the description. Save yourself a bit of cash and help me out too. But there are a lot of techniques that we have learned today to use with this. You've got some bead caps here. You can change the sizes on that. We crowned it and made a little cute ensemble. We learned to make fringe out of spiral stitch. That's a fun technique for other pieces that you might have, like if you have huge bib-style embroidery pieces and you want to add some extra flair, a spiral stitch fringe hanging in places might be looking pretty spiffy. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to share what you have come up with over on our Discord group. Come join us at Creations from Lessons with Odin. There's a link down in the description below of where you can find that. Come join us and talk about beading, everyday life, struggles, and what have you. Drool over other beads. So, link down below. And thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. Y'all are awesome, and I appreciate each and every one of you. If you would like to get exclusive tutorials once per month that I do not post right here on YouTube, check out my Patreon page down below, patreon.com/odins.musings. Also, if you don't want to join a new page, I have memberships for YouTube down in the description below. Just click the little join button down where the title and stuff is. You'll find it. It's blue and cute. It's the same exact rewards as the Patreon, it's just right here on YouTube instead. But I think that will do it from me. Be sure to like up this video and subscribe if you want to see more bullshit from me. Check out me and say hi over on my social medias and interwebs. Check out what I've been up to. Thank you all so much for joining me. And of course, if there's anything I need to be trying out right now, feel free to let me know down below. And I will see you next time.